Hi, good morning. I've just put in, well, first things first. I have a desktop, I have a bay, I can slide it open, the bay I can open it up, get an SSD in and out there. I've just put in the Carli SSD, so solid state disk or drive, and the thing is, updating your system is what we do all the time, and watching update videos will make you more independent of anybody, because it's all ArcoLinux related. And how is Pacman throwing errors at us? How can we solve them? It's all about that, right? Being having an operating system that really just works always, and it will always work. It has been working for years. So ArcoLinux is reliable, but with any operating system comes knowledge. And that's why we make these update videos. So check them out on YouTube. This is another one. So Carli is our project. We can have a look at the browser. That's a bad idea. 17 tabs go open. So we have Ctrl-Alt-G, and that's just nothing. So ArcoLinuxISO.com is containing our customized ArcoLinux ISO. It means we start really from scratch, and it's a story you can follow. Carli 1 is the first thing we've done, and then it just builds upon those things and just follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like watching the Vikings or anything else that you binge watch, right? So Carli 2 is going to go for an update, and so on and so on. And you build up piece by piece by piece by piece, and you get in the end, we have already a plasma system. So choosing your desktop is as easy as choosing 16 of them. So yeah, it's not easy, I know, but things change. I mean, between this and 5 years in the future, you have chosen already maybe 5 desktops that you say, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. So it's really very flexible, that thing. Choosing a desktop is, well, depends on your task ahead, really. All right, so updating the system. I see a strange thing that we used to see in the past, but it's a version, so Discord wants to update. Maybe you don't know, but there is this thing called Super and Escape, and it has a nice little icon. So my cursor has changed into a skull and bones, and anything I touch is gone. So Super Escape is rather neat little trick. And we have a button here. We can do 2 things. You can say I'm all for GUI, so graphical user interface, 1.6 gigabytes, which is a long time ago, right? Let's see. Last, it seems to me, I have made this logo here. So when you press last, you see how many times I actually booted up this SSD. And you have to scroll all up. So May 23, that's today. And it has been 5-6 months, almost 6 months ago, I started up the system. So it is possible to just stay rolling. There's no need, like people say, you have to update every day. No, it's not necessary at all. But there will be things that we've fixed in the meantime that are still in this system, right? But it requires some knowledge. It requires some patience maybe as well. And there you go. So December the 1st, so we're gonna update for 6 months. That's why we have 1 point, etc. gigabyte. So 23, 27, October. So this SSD in particular, we started basically with Carli on the 3rd October, and we're now May. So in October we'll have a year. All right. It even has the old mistake prior to the bonsai thing. So updating, that's all about. This video is just about that. Update. I never do it in a graphical user interface. Maybe you could consider to do it also like this. Let's go into detail. ArcoLinux is 90% Arch Linux, so a few packages are from AOR and from ArcoLinux. And when it says extra, then these guys are all Arch Linux. And these are a mixture of Arco and Arch. If you want to know, this is our testing repo, so that's Arch. This is Arch. That's third party, so somebody else. So you could call this guy, well, AOR. And we even have the submicron wallpaper. So we're going to get rid of the submicron, or we could get rid of the submicron wallpapers, or not. It's a choice. Replace this thing with that thing. So the extra is not from us. In the package build, which is a kind of recipe how to create packages, it says, hey, let's replace this particular thing with that particular thing. All you have to say is yes, because it's intended to be like that. It's orchestrated, it's arranged, it's engineered to change name. So enter is the only proper thing, or a Y, a yes thing here. So I'm pressing now enter. And all these guys, it's up to Arch to tell, okay, we're going to change that thing into that thing and that thing into that thing. So yes, 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 yes. That's all the thing you do. And then we get this Xorg proto thing. Now, if things go wrong, go south like they say in English, we go to the archlinux.org. That's the place to be. We are Arch. And then do Ctrl F proto. And proto is no longer there because there's older stuff. This is an old thing. I think this one, that's the one. Installing Xorg proto breaks dependencies. Do we recognize that? Installing Xorg proto, okay, that's the one, right? So knowledge is here. No need to be very smart. It's just copy paste. That's what you need to do. Ctrl C. And then sudo, of course, you had gotta be the chief. And then Ctrl Shift V. Sudo pacman -r dd. What's all that about? Pacman, read this, know this, know where it is. Knowledge, that's all you need to do. That's in Dutch. That's in German. Why is he providing me Netherlands? Let's get rid of the last thing here. Pacman in English. Thank you very much. So, removing packages. All right, so RDD, and go and have a look. It says here RDD. To remove a package is required by another package without removing the dependent package. Okay, so that's the information you read and you try it out. Enter. Target not found, it says, which means you need to have common sense. If he says the target is not found, it means you do not have the package. So remove the package. Run. And off we go. Again, he wants to know, replace it, yes, no. And off we go, right? It's knowledge, it's common sense. And then your control of your system. Okay, the update is fast enough for me. 11, 8, 9. Remember, these guys are coming from Arch Linux servers, and why not include that as well in this video? Let's go and have a look at the Arch Linux servers wiki. No, let's see. Category servers, Arch Linux, server, Arch wiki. Mirrors them. Looking for a certain page. We have mirrors, lots of them. Lots of Arch Linux things, and depends on the country. You can sort it out here. Sort it on country. Successfully syncing mirrors. Of course, there are computers out of sync. So these are the bad guys, right? They are not syncing. 0, 0, 0, 0. Australia, lots of guys here from Australia, but this guy is not yet fully synced, and that's the problem for people sometimes. One package they need is not on this particular server, which provides you with an error line, and is going to go to the second server and try to find it there. So that's what's happening. Belgium has 3 here, I see. This guy, that guy, and that guy, and they never win. They never win. Why am I saying winning? We have this command, an alias, mirror, mirror S, mirror D, mirror D, mirror A, 4 of them, right? All you have to do is just type alias and then learn it. It's a lot of useful stuff in here. And here are the mirrors, mirror A, mirror A, mirror, mirror A, mirror D, mirror S. And it all uses reflector. A reflector is going to sort some numbers in some way, and this list is going to be checked. It's going to be pinged and all that, measured, so that the fastest server is in the mirror list. In here, etc pacman.d mirror list. Each time you do that, it's going to be in there. But that's a manual thing. There is also a cron running and also a service at boot up level running. So you normally have the fastest server around and not the broken ones, right? Not the broken ones. You don't want those. You want the ones that are fast, near to you. Well, near to me doesn't matter really. I just want to have the fastest. So that's something to read again. Mirrors, read about it. And somewhere down here, control find reflector. Reflector retrieves the latest mirror list from mirror status page, filters and sorts them by speed and overrides that one. Basically what we do. And there's still one more, still doing his job. There's still one more that you could run manually, but I say to you, it's going to be done at boot up. So Control T. I'm not sure if it's already there, so let's have a look. Maybe it's going to be later, but just remember, it's not there yet. We need to install stuff. But update mirrors is another one you can run, which is started at boot up. So basically, guys, you're good to go, right? You're good to go. The ArcoLinux servers will be okay. All right, so another thing that we need him to help with. So signature from Alat Wenter, etc. is unknown trust. File inside my var cache pacman packages. That's an interesting place to go. Knowledge, right? That's all what we're about. ArcoLinux wants you to be independent in Arch. Did I say ArcoLinux? ArcoLinux wants you to be independent in ArcoLinux. Var cache. Remember these places, pacman packages. All the packages you ever downloaded are in here. All of them. Now sometimes you see that there are problems with the packages. Do you want to delete it? It's simple. He asks, do you want to delete it? If there a problem, yeah, sure, probably. And then we have deleted a package. Now another thing we could explain you, control find, is the cache. Cleaning the package cache. You see the same pathway for cache pacman packages, and you can delete. Where is it? This is not what I'm using. I'm not using pack cache. I'm using this guy to remove all files from the cache. Use the clean switch twice. This is the most aggressive approach and will leave nothing in the cache folder. That's exactly what we do if we build an ISO. So it makes sense to explain you that one. -s pacman should be written correctly. -scc. Watch what happens on the left side. Yes. Yes. Right? No pacman anymore. It's all gone. Now I've deleted all my downloads as well. But let's do an update and you see what I mean. Doesn't matter. My download, right? See what happens. So everything you download is coming inside var cache pacman packages. And we'll see if we still have this error. And if so, we'll have to figure something. And we could also already go for arch wiki signature, right? Package signing. At some point in time, we'll have to talk about package signing inside our in our carli project. So sig level. So what sign level do you want to have in pacman conf? Cannot disabling signature checking, resetting all the keys, removing stale packages. Signature is on no trust. I believe we got that kind of thing. This one, package is unknown trust, or was it the wrong trust? Could we still see this? Well, if we scroll all the way up, probably. Manually signing the untrusted key locally, resetting all the keys, and all relevant things we need to learn for carli. So this is homework. If your intent is to continue with carli project, we need to know some stuff. We need to read. Yep. All right. Let's see. So we have the i3 lock color is corrupted, invalid or corrupted packages. Do you want to delete it? We have still the problem with i3 lock color. Now the keys, and that's something that's important for you to know. Keys are organized with something. Let's see if we find it here. If we can find it here, that's gonna stick in your head and say, okay, that's what we had to do. We can initialize and all that, but control find ArcoLinux. There it is. The ArcoLinux keyring package, which is a dependency of pacman, contains the latest keys. However, keys can also be updated manually by doing that and all that. No, we are going to get a package in ArcoLinux keyring. It's included in lots of videos already. Again, sudo pacman -s. If you see this, ArcoLinux keyring. Somebody is not known there. See the jump we make. Whoa, let's go back up. See the jump we make. We jump from 2019 of October to 2020 to April 22. So almost end of May, or beginning of May, I mean. Basically, a lot can change in 6 months' time. So people who used to sign it are not signing anymore. People who never signed it are signing now. And that's what we've done. We've told them these are the keys with which the packages are signed. Please accept them. Update already. Okay. So get the keys in by which everything is signed. And it's going to checking keys in keyring. So that's this line here. So pacman sees, okay, those are the keys, those are the packages. Package integrity is going on. So the specific file there, i3 something color, was a problem and is no longer a problem. All right, we're through. Integrity is finished. So it's going to be installed, and let's just let him install it. There we go. Now let's be complete about this. There's another question people ask all the time. We see this particular thing. Is it important? Well, pacman says there is already a file like this, and I won't overwrite it. So I'll make a copy of the new one in this guy. So that's the pack new. Pack new, it says pacman, right? Profile file is new. Shadow pacman is new. Local gen pack new. And this is something we actually can have a look at. So that's an interesting thing. Hopefully it's an interesting thing. Don't know. So locale.gen. This guy and that guy, right? These two guys are, this is the original one. is writing away, so it's jumping all the time. So the updates, he's updating something in etc, and that's why it's jumping. So I lost my locale again. Where are you? That one and that one, these two guys, we can melt them, compare them. And it seems there's a new language, MNW, whatever that is. We need to Google that. So that's one thing, just one line. So it's for whatever country, whatever language, this is a new one. And that's it. I mean, you can take a look at the changes, but we don't need it, right? We are, in this case, I'm on English, or German, or Spanish, or Italian. And that's it. That's about languages. If you say, what's this all about? Well, on ArcoLinuxD.com, you don't have to be, you don't need to install ArcoLinux right now. If you're still not ready for it, you're still not ready for it. But do check out the videos, because it gives you an idea why I chose this particular thing, right? Locale gen. At some point in time, you choose the language, and it happens in Calamares without you knowing, all graphical and all that, but it is the same thing as doing an ArcoLinux installation. Here is the locale gen, the one we took a look at, and we say here, I want to have English US. And we saw there was a new language in there, a new line in there. Okay, fine. So now you know. So please be my guest. Maybe one of the things that's interesting is choose the all-in-ones, because it's a story of installing from A till Z till you have a particular desktop, and there are many to choose, many to follow. How to install ArcoLinux Deeping, and then JWM, and ArcoLinux with XFCE, and ArcoLinux with Plasma, and ArcoLinux, etc., right, from A till Z. And then you get the feeling, okay, that's how you make an operating system. With all these bits and pieces and all the information, you get an operating system. And even if you say not ready for Archway, fine. But get general idea, an overview of what's going on with your operating system. Voila, finished, right? Updating Xfont dir indices, whatever. What we want to know is, oh, look at that. So Pacman, mirror list, with reflector removing, etc. So we have already a new mirror list. But this is ArcoLinux stuff. So whenever there's an update, we are going to make sure that the mirror list is the fastest out there. Now, if we scroll up, I just want to show you some messages that should trigger you. Oh, I have to do a scal. A scal is a bit specific on ArcoLinux. We have many configurations. You see more warnings. So the Pacman, you now know, you can have a look and compare it and see what's different. So the developer has said, I'm gonna change something, and we see messages, Bluetooth main config pack new. But this one is not overwritten. So my settings for my Bluetooth from my Bose in headphones are still in there. That's the one provided from Arch. I'm looking for a way to scal. Here we are. The files have been installed in etc scal, tuner, XFC. So a lot of things have changed, and here is the mirror list. So we have a new mirror list because of a server service. Every update, every time you reboot your system, it's gonna check if you have still the fastest server from ArcoLinux, right? And update it. So a lot of things go into this etc scal, and that is a strange thing because it's not used. When is etc scal used? You know this already. Is when you are building an ISO and when you are creating Eric, the user. Well, everything in etc scal is gonna be copy pasted to the home directory of the newly created user. That's when it comes into the picture. etc_scal is needed to create things for the user, for his convenience, for the look, for the style, for the keyboard shortcuts, for the bash RCs, all the aliases, all elements, really. And there are lots of things like the i3. You don't have an i3 if you don't have a config, right? So this is now in etc_scal. It will never be used unless you type scal. So yeah, that's an important thing. Scal is gonna copy paste now over. As well, you just type in alias scal, check out the command, but basically the content of etc_scal is now in your home directory, has overwritten everything in your home directory. So this thing you could easily do copy Eric, right mouse click, paste. It's the same thing, right? But we do like an alias. You see everything that's blue is overwritten. And the last thing, an up-all. An up-all is for anything you've installed extra, AOR stuff. Control C. I'm stopping him here. So you see here, Sardi flexible mixing icons, Dropbox, i3, caps next. Things have changed a bit in 6 months, right? So I'm gonna clean up a little bit, which is also interesting for you to see. And I'm gonna tell him that there is more. Let's have a look. So we have the submicron. That's the wallpapers. I'm gonna change my pacman because this is an old pacman. So the pacman.conf is a file you should know. Oh my god, I have to reboot. So if you see this error, maybe show it again. Failed to open pacman.conf, failed to execute Jaya launch desktop, no such, etc. We've done an update which requires us to reboot. That's all. That's all. So the update video has to be cut into 2 pieces. All right, so I'll reboot and I'll see you shortly.